Today we are going to have a video on how to do CPR. We have our little puppy here that we're going to simulate the CPR on, and we need to make an assessment of the dog to make sure that his airway is clear. You want to make sure he is breathing. If his airway is not clear, you want to remove any vomit or obstruction or anything that might keep him from having a good airway and breathing system. Now the doctor, by this time, once you've assessed him and he can breathe, then, or is able to breathe but is not breathing, then the doctor would probably want to go ahead and intubate the dog. We would measure, of course, the proper way. We have our laryngoscope here in case we needed to use that, but he has been intubated and is ready to be, his airway is unblocked. And so we've assessed and cleared his airway, checked him for breathing, and now we want to do compressions. So we would take the ambu bag here, we would hook it up to the intubation tube. Okay, and it depends on when the doctor wants you to do it, is if he wants you to start compressions or breathe for him first. And he has wanted us to breathe first, so we would breathe for him. And because this is a small dog, or if it was a true small dog, you would take his arm measure to where his heart is, and then because he's small, you could use one hand and you would start compressing between 100 and 120 times a minute. You would do that 15 times, as hard and fast as you could, and then you would breathe for him again, and then you would do compressions again, and then you would have others assisting you, checking, and you would breathe again. But you would want to breathe for him twice after the second set of compressions. Keep compressing. And then when you would want to check him to see if he was breathing after you unplug this. Okay. Once again, you would want to do the ABCs. You want to assess him. You want to check him for his airway to make sure it's clear. Check them to make sure that they can breathe, and then you want to go ahead and start your compressions if the doctor is ready for you to do that, or breathe for him first. After once, if the dog has been revived or resuscitated, we want to take him off of the ambu bag and hook him up to oxygen. Okay, and we would make sure the machine and everything was on, and then after that time we would get our fluid bags and go ahead and get him hooked up and having fluids from possible dehydration or shock. And that is how you would give CPR to a dog using an ambu bag and compressions.